Hello and welcome. Right, so we are back, and yeah, I thought I'd quickly refill this. We've got to rush through till about 3, and then any later than that, I don't want to risk butchering like tomorrow's supply. But all my life, wow, this is what we find. This is tremendous. I'm really loving this, and I'm glad we found this out. Yeah, similarly, there was also a thing in FS22 that we sort of discovered, or I discovered, and that obviously other people did too. It's not, yeah, it was if you like went hour by hour, your productions did a better job than if you did like go through till the next morning. We literally, the amount of times when I'd got to like process a lot, and on a biogas plant, usually disturb simulations in FS22. Yeah, we are frequently now. Then I think no, we want more to go into the clothes factory than we do the rope factory, but the rope factory is more powerful, so can process more. So we don't want to like go too much. Now I have done the straw factory. I think let's make sure it has still there. Yeah, super straw factory. So that's now done, and we'll be far more capable than the standard production. And we did pay for the extra for the furniture, the extra equipment. You know, seriously. Right, so it's going to rain in a bit. Let's get some more into the clothes place. And yeah, obviously the chugger is really JMGaming's factory that is going to like take a while to sort. I'm wondering whether or not we should do a. Yeah, because I've got to be honest, I'm using this ever such a lot. It would be really useful to do 5-ton pallets of wool. Could use a proper wool. Like I mean, I prefer to have an enclosed box because it's sort of it uses the game's obviously giants. Good idea. Giants hide parts of the bales from a. Oh, I know. I apologize. Sort of. That's in trouble. I've said this when you're modding. You're like a magician that's you trying to see how the other magicians did their tricks, and it sort of means in a way the magic's not completely there anymore because you're not looking at it in that way that like other people do as playing a game. But I still do. But what I mean is, I am also looking under the bonnets to see what's in the in the engine and things like that. So you tend to like go down to brass tacks and think, well, how did they do that? And like, what is this? And whereas when you're gaming, you're just gaming, and it's good fun. I still enjoy it. I don't mean I've like not ruined the game for myself or anything silly like that. Totally love it. But no, I've lost my tack now. Where was I going with this? Yeah, this thing. Let me just try and regather my thoughts. Sarah, yeah, it's weird. I've said this for the past few weeks. I've got to have had some sort of horrible bug, and it's hanging on. It's got there's that many variants of COVID, but it's not just COVID. There are other things similar to COVID and stuff like that that are kicking around too. But yeah, that was it. Bales. I knew it'd come to me. Obviously, using the way that giants do, they hide bits of the, so you can't see a portion of the bale, but it's still there. So when you put half of a bale, or full bale, or any kind of a bale of like this on top of another one, that still is, although it has only got a quarter of the bale, it really hasn't. It's got all four, but you can only see one. And that's what I mean. If I stack something on top of it, you can see that there's nothing there. Whereas if you do an enclosed bale with a picture of that on it, although not quite as pretty, it goes that the game, it's more in harmony with it. It never spoils the immersion. And I'm surprised giants in a way don't. It is a bit strange because I did say I don't understand giants gameplay, like where, because sometimes they do things that are really sensible, and then other things are a bit like that. It's all right, it works, so let's leave it. And you like think, yeah, but it's not. It doesn't work, does it? If you did an enclosed box full of bales, it would sort of go that you wouldn't see that there was only got a quarter of a box. You could still read what its contents was and see the picture on the box, but it wouldn't matter that it was like that. But I suppose there's another thing with natural products like this. Oh, I don't know. It's still a pallet with like a bag of wool. So I don't really think that's... Yeah, you could do one big bag of wool, and you could, if you did it as a box, then a box is solid, so you'd never see what was in it. That's my point. I think that would be the best way to handle it. But again, giants are giants, so yeah, they do some things like you'd expect, and then other things totally not. So it is strange, right? So let's just sort of check the sales, because sometimes other things come through. Oh, where's 4,500 litres? Log grapple dangle. You must have a go at this. Now, I was considering, which is most unlike me, of doing a map. It was that where you can clear the wood yourself and then make a farm, and I thought that appeals to me, because I'm not actually just stripping forest for no reason. It's because I'm trying to use the land that I'm taking, and obviously it's a very good way to make money as well, although not so good on hard economy. On that one, I'd be tempted to go normal while we're doing the logging, for the fact that it's a good way of earning cash, and then perhaps going back to hard once the farming started. So I'd really, really love your thoughts on this, whether you'd like to see something like that, whether we go... I can't remember which map it is, but it's one that's only just dropped, and it is an American map, and I thought that sounds really good. It gives you like 3 or 4 different choices for what you're doing, and I thought, well, I really like that. That's a cracking idea. So yeah, I'd just like to know what you think. So we're spending money like water. We've literally done everything that we've got to do. There's nothing more on the sale. Let's go through to November morning, and if that, yeah, well, hopefully the sugar cane will be ready. I've got the forage harvester poised on the edge of... Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed about the straw pickup. Again, it didn't pick the straw up, and I'm like, huh? It says it does loads of straw. I don't understand why it's like refuses to pick it up. I'm like, well, am I misunderstanding those little pictures of straw? That it's... Perhaps it doesn't like the straw. What did we have in the fields? Crop, was it? It's corn. No, it's maybe the additional straw mod, because corn technically doesn't have straw, so maybe it's only... Yeah, but it shows loads of little pictures of straw. Well, there's only, like, in the base game, there's only wheat, barley and oats that I can think of that actually have straw, I think. Yeah, no, that is right. Yeah, it is naturally. It's only oats, barley and wheat that are straw producing things, even though all things do produce straw, but obviously in the game doesn't recognise it. Perhaps it is that it only does that, but the picture of it, if you look at the picture... Oh, okay, yeah, we will take a good look. Oh, that's typical. Another one. Wow. Tater planter now. Wow, it's a cracking... It is a very good price. Super chisel, which we will sell. Yeah, there's quite a bit we can sell this morning. That's quite interesting. So let's have a look. Yeah, I was going to show you. I was talking about... Oh, do you know, I hate this. Yeah, I'm still not myself. I'm not like, easily lose track, and I always do anyway, but it's even worse than normal. So, right, yeah, it'll come to me. I always find the worst, if you chase, it seriously just disappears quicker than if you just allow yourself to regather your thoughts, and then it pops into your head if it's going to. So need to remind those as well, because they're like... Yeah, they've not lasted bad. For saying obviously they disintegrate somewhat, I think I can live with the amount of disintegration again, and it's realism, so I'm happy with that, as long as it doesn't... Yeah, like FS19, where things used to dissolve in the rain. Now that was a bit too much realism. Yeah, I mean, as in, like, it was like acid rain was attacking any grass on the field. I remember seeing Miss Sealy P on one episode where it literally just dissolved his grass. It's so not realistic. It's seriously not realistic. Right, let's stick this in, and yeah, do we need to clear any space for the storage inside? I'm trying to think for the super. We'll take... So that's had like 8 at there's only 4 left for the clothes, but we're going to speed it up later, and then we will do. No, I think I'm going to do the sugar cane, if I'm honest. Otherwise, I'd set it going now, but no, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to enjoy that. It's ages since I've done sugar cane, and I do so love using that 9-meter header. It's so beautiful. Yeah. Sometimes you've just got to do it yourself, to the appreciation of the mods and the work that goes into them, and like, it's just nice sometimes to do things in a different way. No, they have drops. They're all good now. So we'll ask the store to deliver us one of those beautiful headers, but we'll quickly go and sell the bits and bobs down at the store and make a little bit of cash back from all the frivolous. No, it's not really frivolous. I just couldn't resist. I'd only been saying a couple of days ago on one of the other Let's Plays I'd still not seen the next set, and it was like the game heard me. Yeah, because literally then it dropped. So how are we doing on this? Yeah, I mean, it's super, but it's not like silly super. It's done an awful lot more. The guar beans and the guar glue are doing nicely. Yeah, everything ticked. That's brilliant. Water, still plenty. We do need to stick some water in. Yeah, we ought to do that, actually. Yeah, let's set that going too, because we need to do that before we get cracking. Now then, where are you? The one with the... I think it's this one here. I think it's you. No, it's not. It's the one down here. One of these. No, it is him, I think. It is. Alright, so we need to be sticking this bit of diesel into like the production side, and then we can actually just do that as a... I might actually do a bit of an old battered sort of diesel tank myself. Yeah, just like use the body of the tank and a few bits of paraphernalia to make it look like a homemade diesel tank. A bit of attention to detail, I think. Right, so water, we need to... That's a point. Yeah, we could actually do this one. We've actually got the tap, haven't we? Do what we did last time and then send the water wherever it's needed. It's not a bad idea. Still not flip that. Now, I want to get on with my modding. I say I've got no get up and go. The very thought of like going into doing some modding is just like really just too much for me, and it's ridiculous. Yeah, so let's dump that. We've got that going already, so right, let's go over to the forage harvester, and we will indeed, we should see that this is ready to harvest. Should see. Indeed, remove foliage. Right, okay, we will exactly do that. So we need to face that, or at least we should do, unless there's no room, and then this should actually work. Oh no, we were going to do the shop, weren't we, first? Let's be sensible. And we don't want any extra pipes, we just want... Yeah, I had a night, and I think I know I did mention it last session, actually. Oh, that's with like getting cross wires, isn't it? Oh, it's so not wrong. I apologise for this plonker that I am. Let's reset that again. Oh no, not that one. Do you know, seriously, what are the chances of me clicking the wrong one 3 times? Apologise for this, but I don't want to waste the session. I don't do it very often, but I don't want to waste a session like with driving down, and that's all the session is. So right, we down here for now. Sell this and sell the other bits and bobs. Yeah, so I am looking forward to it, and I am going to try it. And we're ordering, because one thing I really seriously missed in, which is why I love the sales so much, is in FS19. If anyone watched the one Let's Play that I did do, which was Lone Oak, that was on YouTube. Now, I used to use extensively the second-hand equipment mod, which is why, to me, the sales are like so much like that, but still not quite as good, no matter how much. But this find used, it not only is it as good, but the thing is about the second-hand equipment mod in FS19 was you could buy it and it was there immediately. This, that you're searching through the sales for an item, is really brilliant. A cracking idea, because it also adds an element of where you don't just get it straight away. That it's like quite random. I've had it where it's 3 or 4 months down the line. So my start, where I like start in August, it sort of goes very well with that start, because you can sort of say we're searching for equipment over the winter, and you may well. So if you ordered quite a few bits and bobs for like that, you, in other words, you're designing your Let's Play, you're choosing a set of equipment, and I quite like the idea of that. So we don't want any of this, we don't want any of that, we do want that. Yeah, so I'm thinking the very next map that I do, that I'm going to do that, because I like the idea of it. Just hope I remember, because I know what I'm like. It's just habits. You start a Let's Play and you think, yeah, let's do this. Oh, I've still got Bear Wrap. I must have paid for that, surely. Or do you always get Bear Wrap? Maybe you do. I didn't see any extra costs, but I might have. Yeah, some of them have got obviously costs further down and you don't see it, but I should have paid attention to it, the options, where it said like it was going to cost me more. But yeah, I missed that. I mean, I know it's only a little bit. It's not, not the end of the world. But that is definitely worth selling. Now, that if we were staying on the map, we'll definitely... I don't think we've got any rollers on this, have we? I think it's the one thing we've never sort of like got, I don't think, on this Let's Play. That would be nice as well, to sort of like grab one of the large rollers. I mean, BI Industries does the 12-meter one for like 27,700, which is almost like BC Bueller's one as well. So right, let's get this last item, and then we're going to get cracking. And it's going to be me, little old me, doing the sugarcane. Right, so that should be adequate. Fantastic. So back up to 514,000. Now let's do what we were going to do, which now we do need to do this. You know, I can't believe I actually did that. Literally just did it. But it's, I say, because I was, I was going to do it, and then I thought, oh, no, we've got to do that. So yeah, typical. Right, so then I will obviously, I don't want this to be a monster for you all watching. Yeah, so this the camper. I mean, they are definitely symbols for straw, but they look like, I can't see what the icons are. I don't get what they are. But it's, to me, that's grass, straw. But some of those are weird little icons. That's, sorghum straw. I can recognize the symbol. I just don't recognize them all. So to me, why is it not working? Yeah, I mean, it's showing me that I am allowed to pick up, but that is the purpose of that header. I had it down and it was on. Why was it not working? No. Please can we order this header before everyone loses patience? Right, okay, please, let's get this sorted. So we want the sugar cane. We're going to lease it. Yeah, we do want to lease it. I'd have to lease it for about 20 years before it was worth like buying it. You know, like, oh, I was going to thought of 1 minute, it's going to not let me do it. It's going to say no. Right, I am going to say, oh yeah, let's also get rid of the line. So we've done our daily task. Our animals are being fed. We are now going to do our sugar cane. So I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Right, this brings a bit of a quandary. I don't really want to put any more storage down, if I'm being totally truthful, so I think the only option I've really got is to sell the excess, because I'd imagine if I dump it on the ground that it'll start to eat it like it does, you know, like the realistic, which is realistic, it would in real life. I mean, it'd last a while, but if you left it for a month, which of course is what really happens when we go through a day, as we sort of say, but it really is a month, so therefore it would, rightly so, disintegrate. So it does make me wonder if really Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying, this late in the day, I don't really want to be putting extra infrastructure down, so it's just... What? No, yeah, it will be in here. Honest. Oh, that's because I'm not on the... Yeah. Oh. Huh? Why did that happen? Why did we say dump and we got a box over here? That's a little bit odd. 10 grand. Nearly. And a box. For some reason. No idea what that's about. Right, so I reckon we'd, probably get another. Obviously, I'm going to leave this trailer full and the other one's practically full. So we're not going to, like, keep forgetting there's no actual way in through this. Oh, no, but there is the other way. Just carry on going higher up the field. And there's the entrance that we keep going in. I'd forgotten. I love sugarcane. And this is one reason why I love it. It's such a fantastic crop. So very much I'm deliberating on whether or not we do a sugarcane start. That is the start. I would like to do that. Sugar Baron, though, it's quite an expensive thing, but I'm wondering whether or not to get the EDK one, because that you can afford always. It's not too terrible, but I'd have to start small, and I don't know how slow we would be with the 9-meter header unless I make a 6-meter version. That's the only thing I can think of, so that I could use that particular header. I think it does use, well, it did use the normal standard headers before in FS22 when it was out. We're nearly finished, so we shall see. We'll get another one out. I think we will, but what I mean is whether there's any spare, because then obviously, like header down usually helps. So I've realised that it bursts immersion somewhat, but I don't want to be destroying crop either. Yeah, if you got it on and down, obviously the animation runs whether or not there's sugarcane in the field or not. So it's sort of like advertising the fact that it does burst immersion, and I don't like doing that. So I keep trying to remember. I keep doing it sometimes, thinking, oh, you've done it again, pack it in. Yeah, I'm out of the habit with the sugarcane. Isn't there some at the top as well? Yeah, I think there is. So it's not even just as simple as this patch. And there's a tiny bit of cleanup at the top of the field as well. Yeah, let's get that top patch done. Then we know what we're doing. I didn't do that. That's alright. That was on and it didn't actually do the animation. That's a bit odd. It does normally. I've tried it. Maybe if it's so close to a certain amount, that he's in the field, because it's true. Or it might have a cut-off of a few seconds, I suppose, if it's on. Yeah, like that. Just to emphasise it. Yeah, that's what I mean. So that's weird. So why did it not do that when I actually set it going? It's bizarre. Yeah, I still think we're going to fill this again and have a little bit left, but I think we don't need to sell a full trailer. Yeah, I've sort of worked it out. If you get to 97, you should stop. That's the cut-off when, like that now, because it still carries on. Only, oh wow, fuel. Yeah, that'll do. I think we could. It's going to be difficult to do. I mean, even just that, we all know it's very cheap to actually buy or to sell it. So you don't get a lot per like 50 odd tons. It's a very, very cheap crop to buy like this because of its how much there is. But it is, if you're doing sugar, it's amazing. It really is. So I'm wondering whether to do sugar. The only trouble is, obviously, like anybody who did do sugar, you probably will do sugar beet as well, and that equipment likewise is also terribly expensive. So it's one of those things that it's good, but I always find with, if you, I mean, there's only 4-meter headers still. That's all we've got, and it is actually quite realistic. Of course, you could use my harvester, but at the minute the workers seem to struggle, and it is just a standard harvester, so I haven't altered it. It is exactly, all it has is a storage tank above, you know, like a storage built-in trailer, you could say, and they shouldn't struggle with it because it really is identical. I've not changed the work area or anything like that, so really it should be spot on. But the workers, yeah, no, I just, yesterday I checked the mod desk. I thought, has Giants craftily like moved the mod desk up? Is that what the problem is? But to be honest, it isn't. No, it's still 100. So I don't know why. There's lots of real strange discrepancies in the game. Although I will give you a laugh. It was hilarious the other day. Obviously on what's the name of the map? Star Valley. I think, I'm not sure if I'm doing a full run, but I've got too much on. But I did just want to have a look at it. It was really interesting, and I'd like, I'd like to do my next full run on all of, is it New America? It's, yeah. Now let's just see then. Okay, if you carry this on. Yeah, it does. That's what I thought. If you're down and on, it does the animation. So why did it not? That is bizarre. I thought I was right that it did do the animation. Right, I'm hoping. Well, I don't think we'll get a full trailer out of this, but it's difficult. I've forgotten again. I just like, you know, dumped it and sold it immediately. That's, yeah. Yeah, so you have got to lift it and stop. That's the real. Well, I suppose when you consider we've got a 500,000 litre storage, a 250 ton storage, and 100 tons of JMGaming things, that's like just under 1 million. So we did actually get over 1 million litres off this field when we sold like nearly 100,000 litres too, and we will have quite a lot left in this one too. Now, I'm not sure if it's in a trailer, whether it still disintegrates, but I suppose that is something we could see. I do like to know these rules, even though you'd like think, oh, it's a bit of an expensive thing. Well, yeah, but it was going to be stuck in the trailer no matter what anyway, so what is going to happen really is going to happen. So you're still not far off. By the time you've got this run as well, you're not going to be too far off a full trailer. But this is the last. Yeah, we've done all the cleanup of all like these little areas and things like that. So yeah, not too terrible. I am impressed. I mean, it is a big field, but nevertheless not too big a field. You could have quite a small field produce quite a lot of sugar. It's not a bad. It's not a terrible business, but it's all about, it really is about how much like sugar beet and sugar cane you get, because as in that you get a lot, so therefore it's not a terribly lucrative business. But again, I think Giants do everything fairly, so what I mean is they know that it's a lot, but obviously that also means there's an awful lot of work for you on sugar in comparison to other businesses, so that's what I'm really getting at. Right, so we need to be calling the shop and they can come and pick this up. And that is the last of our harvest. Unlike other Let's Plays though, obviously with this one, we've got to carry on. So if we are going to carry on, then obviously we'll do it traditionally, which is we'll keep the animals. Because what I mean is, if we don't know how long we're going to go on. I don't know how long JMGaming's. It could take 9 months for that to process everything in it. Yeah, the bioplastics. So if it does, then yeah, we're here for a while. But all we'll be doing is obviously like. I suppose no, it is true. That's why I've started to do it this way. Usually now get rid of the herd, because what I'm trying to say is you're not. It doesn't matter. But what I mean is it's sort of like you're calling the let's way. This is the end. So if you are really, it's best to. Let's just put that pipe down because I think we're going to wallop that crossbar. I think there's a little room, but not. Yeah, it really is a little. So I think we will leave that there. Let's call the store to take away that, because I'm sure we're going to get wallet. Ooh, 3 now. So yeah. So we've got a little bit of extra to cost. Anything more that we've forgotten? Because I know what I'm like. No, everything leased is gone. Fantastic. Nope. So I would say that is not. So we. Oh no, we earned 16,000. Yeah, we did. We just sold like 2 sets of like sugar cane. So not terribly good. But again, when you consider the alternative was leave it out on the fields, I don't particularly. Of course, it will probably be at its very worst price. Because it's like literally being harvested, isn't it? So I'd imagine sugar cane is. Yeah. Not terrible. It's not tanking. So yeah, why did we? Yeah, well, no, we did sell out ours. Actually, we almost equaled the top price. In fact, no, we will have done. No, so we didn't do too badly really, because we will have got like an extra third on top of that, which is about 40. So 160. Which for that is about the same as potatoes, really. So it's not too terrible. You're selling it by mass, and we weren't selling a lot of it, so we only made a little bit, really. But, I mean, yeah, I've known farms when making that would have been your year's profit, so not too terrible, really, all things considered. So, yeah, that is the last of our harvest. So are we going to... No, I'm not going to rush it. No, next session we would be... And I must remember to do the occluder mesh on this one, because when you, like, go in, you start to... Yeah, you get that happening. All that weird flickering. I've got to, like, get this all in order where it should be. Yeah, I must check the original one to see where the occluder actually... it's not something I play with all the time, that kind of thing. Because this is one of the first mods where I've extended the building. Because, yeah, it's not too tricky. When you start to work with vehicles, you just don't have the option to, like, make things larger. When you work with a building, it's much more simple. So it allows you to, like, make it longer and wider and things like that without it breaking. Whereas you do that with a vehicle and you'll break it. It's simple as that. I have tried. Yeah, I have tried to see if there's a way you can like do things, swizzle something out and all the rest of it. You can't. You can swap your model in. I've used that. I've used on the mower. The mower's still got the original model in, and I intend in time to weed the original model out completely and just leave my model left. It's just that it's going to take a while because Giant's models are so... There's so much going on in there. They really, I mean, they do really go to town on things. Even things that I look at some models and I think, why have you, that must have taken you months or hours and hours of a really good modder to make that. And it's just, I'll never use it. It's rubbish. It's just so, in comparison to other mods that are out there, that it's just so terrible that I wouldn't even buy it in real life. So I'm like, but it is the model, they are doing the real life thing of that particular thing. So wow, let's get this lot done a next session. Yeah, let's I suppose it's not going to become a problem if we are next session going to get rid of the sheep, so that we know, like, it's not because I used to always keep the animals at all, but really they are an asset as well. I would imagine also they're probably nearly all adults now. I suppose we could run this a little while, because I suppose what I'm trying to say is it would be nice to get everybody up to 1,000 or nearly, because these are really. Well, yeah, but what time? Yeah, I don't know that. No, obviously there must be a way that you get. Yeah, when they're 35 months old, they're worth like nearly £1,000. So, but these are a long way off 35 months. We're not going to reach it. So no. We'll just do what I normally would now. It's just so that you're not. Otherwise, you're propagating the thing going on and on and on, because obviously you get producing more and more wool. And obviously you've got to have a cut-off period, really, where I think, right, that's it. And then we'll start to do the time zone and start check. But what we need to do is go through the months so that, which has got quite a lot of stuff in, and the sugar cane, that is tremendous. So I'm really, yeah, we've switched it on now. But yeah, we've got, so that's going to keep going in too. We've got so much on hand of the sugar cane. I'm just not sure how we're going to do it. So we've got the potatoes. All of these are pretty much full, but the nasty thing is the sugar cane is tremendous. I am wondering whether or not we do a very late business of the sugar business, and I'll do a super sugar factory, and we'll stick the excess into that, because what I mean is we've got 100,000 litres of everything, but the sugar cane we've got like almost 8 times more, and I don't think we've got time to like process it like that. So yeah, I think I'll give it some consideration. I want to be fair. I don't like not to process everything now, because I just don't think it's right, because we've butchered this a lot by buying the class and everything. Our equipment, whoever would buy the farm would have equipment to die for. It really is amazing. There's only rollers, I think, that someone need to buy. It's the only thing that we've never. Yeah, we got one drop today. Typically, that's just. Is that not ironic? Really, it is. To me, it appears to be. Right. Well, it has been a long session though. That did take a long time to get that big field done, but it is true. I would like to do a sugarcane start. So it is expensive, but then I would only lease the cedar planter. Yeah, I would not. Which we could do the potato one by Tether Saturn, and yeah, then that would not be too terrible a thing. No, they are specialists. Yeah, there's those. Yeah, the other thing that you can do them with is. I don't think there is anything special actually, other than literally the sugar cane. I think there's a really good sugar cane planter now. But let's have a look at root crop sugar cane. Here we go. The planters. Yeah, I think there is a. Yeah, this what the drive less. It's still 17,000. Yeah, it is a lot bigger. It is 2 meter. Still only 1 meter though. So I think I'd sooner go with that, even though I'm filling it up more. And yeah, I would. It's 2 meter. It does take a long time. No, I'd say I'm not going with that one. No. That's what I'm saying. I'm going the potato planter adapted one, because this one is able to do that, which is quite special because it's a 6 meter. So really, I suppose I could actually make one myself. But again, I've not got the ability to mod at the minute, as in like I can tweak things, but I just not got the hearts. So at this precise moment, we would use that one, I think. So that's 16,000 litres. And if you leased it, would cost you. It is expensive, because it is an expensive bit of kit, but it's the speed. So if it costs us 20-30 grand to do a field, we all know that sugarcane's there forever. It's forever, like, sort of. Yeah, if you're there 6 years and you want to do sugarcane in that field, it's there all 6 years. And that is such another good thing about sugarcane, is the fact that it's there once you put it down. So with the Tethys Saturn 6 meter, it won't take too long to do probably a field smaller than that. But it's, if you did one half that size, when you look at the field, if we did something like that size, you're going to get 500,000 litres out of that every single time. Well, that's not that big a field. That's more like 120 or a bit smaller. I'd say that much of 119. So it's a medium field rather than a big field like 88 or 100 or 101. Yeah, they are big fields, definitely. So, to me anyway, I mean, there are monster fields also. Yeah, those I've also done on like Rumbus Road. Now, they were monsters. They weren't large. Yeah, I mean, Little House on the Prairie, you could not see it from one end to the other. It was that big. Yeah, which is, on this, I can see the end of every single field. So they're not big like those. But yeah, big in the traditional sense that they are fairly large fields. So yeah, quite amazing. So with no further ado, no more waffling from myself, all that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. And I'm going to say goodbye for now.